have a nice little road trip to Conway, Arkansas. First time I've ever been there. It's not easy to get there, but we're turning into road warriors, so I think that's good. One more trip this weekend to South Al. But anyway, kind of a short week. Seemed like with 4 games, and the kids played really well. Was hoping that the Oklahoma game would be kind of a springboard to a more confident team, and I thought it was. I thought we played with a lot more confidence all weekend. Thought Sam Landry was outstanding in the circle. I thought Chloe was very good, and I thought Denali was very good in the circle for us. And then offensively, I think we scored 40 runs in 4 games, so that was a really good sign that our ball club maybe could return that offensive type team that we've been in the past over the second half of the year. And then I thought defensively we played much better game defensively this weekend.
Coach, with Chloe, is it more about the umpire and how they call the strike zone horizontally, or is it more about if she faces power hitters that are trying to drive the ball, she matches up better with it than someone maybe trying to do more dink hitting? How does that work?
I think you're dead on about the umpire has an effect, not just on Chloe, but on every umpire. And if you get that bigger zone, she's able to expose hitters very well because she's that type of pitcher that can work in a zone. And I think that the left-handed part comes into play a lot, depending on who they've just seen and how the matchups are working. But definitely a good sign how she's pitched against a really good competition. I think she's a kid that rises up, and when she gets up against really, really good teams, I think she's really gets competitive, and I think that's when you see the best Chloe Riasetto. And then I think as she matures through her career, you're going to see more consistency than what we're seeing right now as a young sophomore. But the kid's a gamer, and love having her out there because she competes really hard.
So you've got 4. I mean, usually you say, well, you're focusing on the weekend, and if you're playing a really good team this weekend with a good RPI, but you're facing another really good team with a good RPI. So you really have it's almost like a 4 game. So pitching wise, how do you kind of maneuver that?
You know, we got everything's a must win. That's the situation we find ourselves in at this point in the season. You know, we're still in the front half of the season, but it's already to a point where every game is a must win in my mind. And I think I just looked, McNeese was like 38 RPI. South Al, I believe, was 34. So you got top 50 games all week, which is great. But obviously the experimenting's over. It's going to be trying to win every single game. And an exact rotation, I don't even know yet. We got to see how everybody feels. We're off today. The kids are off. We got in really late last night. I slept till 10 o'clock. I never do that. I was just exhausted. When I woke up, I looked at my phone. Usually I know what time it is. And I thought it was going to be about 8, and it was 10. So I think probably the kids are similar. I think they're very, very tired today, and they need the day off, and then we'll reassess health and how everybody feels tomorrow. And I haven't watched a lot of film on McNeese. We played them in the fall, so we know them obviously. But I've been watching film and studying South Alabama for 2 weeks. So I've got a little bit of idea what I want to do, but we'll kind of let it come out as we play.
What stood out to you when you were watching film of South Alabama that really kind of notable?
That it's the same team. You know, that when I watch them, it's the exact same. They've got a bunch of seniors that we've seen play for 4 years. And, you know, you look at the top of the order, Bashir's there. She's been there for the last 4 years. You got Spagner's been there the last 3 years. And then you got Lackey, been there for 4 years. And you got Coach Clark. So it's same team. We've got to play really a really good game.
Are you set on the infield? And depending on, we don't know, give us an update on Victoria if there is one. And then if she's not going to be there, have you kind of figured out what the plan is without?
Yeah, I think the key is Vic going to be back or not, and we'll find that out as the week goes on. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I do expect her back. Lauren Allred is definitely now. We can announce she's redshirting for the year. She won't be back this year. That's a significant. That's not a little thing. That's a significant thing. Um, I feel like Lauren Allred is one of the top. I will say this: I think in 15 years of college coaching, she's one of the top 8 or 10 hitters I've coached. This kid is enormously talented, and in the fall she was amazing, and in January she was amazing. So it's time to announce that she will be a red shirt this year, and we look forward to having her healthy for the next 3 years. Um, and then Vic is day to day. It's day to day. We don't know. But I think I feel good that there's a real good chance she'll be able to play, but I'm not sure that's not coming for that's just me guessing. Watching her walk on the sidelines, no medical information, just watching her movement. She seemed to get looser as the weekend went through, as we went through the weekend, and more comfortable. So hopefully we get her back soon. But if we don't, I thought Piscos was outstanding all weekend at the plate and on defense. And then when Vic gets back, then we got to make decisions. And the good part, we're going to have some depth. We've still, even though we lose all red, we still got some depth with this ball club, and so that's a really good thing.
Sam Rowe, she had a good hitting last week, and she was pretty good at the plate this week. What have you been seeing with her recently, and what do you kind of like about what you've been seeing with her?
She's hitting. I mean, the last 10 games, she's over 400 now. I think she was literally like, it was really good this weekend. But I know the 10-game stat, she was well over 400. And then she's also got, I think, 13 RBIs in the last 10 games. Again, that's, Lauren Allred is a huge loss for us. And Sam Rowe gives us a way to kind of offset that loss. And she's been really, really important to our ball club, not just in performance, like you see the RBIs and you see the batting average, fans see that, but there's great leadership in the dugout and in the locker room. And one of the things that I noticed was in the last week, she's really taken Brooke Elistad under her wing and really, I mean, you see them hanging out in the hotel lobby. You see them out in the outfield, and you see them stretching out together. You see them walking up, and I noticed her talking to her a lot, and I don't think it's any coincidence that Brooke Elistad really had a breakout weekend offensively, and I think Sam Rowe was a big part of that.
Has Cecilia done enough offensively to where you've seen progress to where with her defense she needs to be in?
Sissy's now batting 286 on the year, and she's began to put in another good bunt for us this weekend. She's getting good hits at clutch moments, and if she can stay around that 300 mark, I can live with that all day long. With her defense being such great asset to our ball club.
What about right field?
I think we look at it as just the way we did. That's a place where we put our hottest hitters. If you want defense out there, obviously Kayla Falterman can really go out there and play some defense for you. And an ultimate team player, another really key leader on our team is Kayla Falterman. So I think everything revolves around Kayla out there, but I think that it allows us to work in and out, almost like a second designated hitter situation, and that's where we keep our hottest offensive players in both the DP spot and right field. So it gives us an option to put 2 good hitters in our lineup. And when you got Denali, Lecker, Jordan Campbell, Laney Crater, and Sam Grader, you got 4 kids there that if you can pick out the right 2 that match up with the pitcher and keep them all hitting well, it gives us a lot of depth to our offensive lineup.
Denali, it took a while, but we're starting to see more while you recruited.
Well, in fairness to Denali, like when Lauren Allred was in the lineup and in the rotation, she didn't get many options. You know, I didn't give her. I don't think she got it, but a couple, 3 or 4 at bats the first 2 or 3 weeks, and so like yesterday, I tried to get her 6 at bats. We got her a few more in Oklahoma. You saw the big hit in the 8th inning. She got a couple hits, I know, on Saturday. I think that we just got to give her a chance, and then she's got to get herself in the lineup. And when she gets in the lineup, take advantage of those opportunities she gets. Because there's the other trick with her is you don't want to use her as a pinch hitter early in a game when you might have to use her as a pitcher. And she's really become a really key part of our bullpen. And so that makes it a little trickier to use her in early. So I almost have to wait till late, and I can pinch hit her late if I see I'm not going to need her on the end of the circle. But the kids is a huge part of our program right now, and an extraordinary teammate. You need to, if you haven't interviewed her yet, you need to interview her. She's extraordinary in her presence and her intelligence and her maturity, and just a really fun kid to coach. And even though on the paperwork it doesn't show, extremely significant to our ball club.